Today we're going to be covering frontside flips. I like to keep my front foot right in the middle of the board, and I like to have it more angled and off of the board than I would for a normal kickflip. The back foot is typically going to vary from person to person, but personally I find it works best when I put it on the back corner of the tail. Everybody's going to have at least a little bit differently of a frontside flip, so experiment with different foot positionings and see what works for you. Bend down in anticipation of you throwing your shoulders frontside. Right before you pop, open your leading shoulder and throw your shoulders frontside to start the rotation. Pop your board down and forward. Delay the flick just long enough to reach this part of the board. When you do reach this part of the board, flick off the side of your board instead of off of the nose like you would a kickflip. If you've already led with your shoulders and turned them frontside, your hips should follow. You might not be able to turn the full 180 whenever you start trying to learn this trick, and you'll be able to kickflip. If so, just pivot a little bit, and once you start getting that smoother and smoother, you'll get the board control to be able to turn all the way midair. Something you'll notice if you watch these clips of me doing frontside flips is that I don't really wind up my shoulders in the opposite direction all that much. I do this because it minimizes the movements that I have to do in order to do the frontside flip and helps me keep my balance better. This might not work for you. You might want to wind your shoulders up in the opposite direction more than I do. This might be a good trick to learn on a hip if you're comfortable with doing frontside 180s on hips already, just because you don't have to rotate as much and the kickflip gets a little bit more time to actually flip midair. If you're still having trouble learning frontside flips, leave a comment and let me know what your issue is, and I'll try to help to the best of my abilities.